My sisters and brothers, I greet you all with the love and peace of the Lord. I invite you to meditate together with me on the holy word of God of 5th February 2023, the 5th ordinary Sunday. The pivot: identity crisis. The pointer of our reflection: there is always a pull and pressure between identity and activity, between what one is and what one does. Life becomes a trouble where there is no balance and integration between these two. The life of many is qualityless and directionless. The way of being, living, and doing is increasingly defective. All this points to a deeper problem of identity. There is certainly an identity crisis. Many do not understand what is their identity. Many are not even aware of true identity. Many are not convinced of their true identity. There is a lot of confusion and deviation concerning identity. Consequently, the right identities are neglected and rejected. They are often regarded as out of date and ineffective and useless. In their place, false identities take over, are followed, and are glorified even. That is why many wrongly identify themselves with secondary factors and affinities like caste, region, religion, language, culture, right, etc. It is in this context the Word of God today clarifies what is true identity. While Jesus in the Gospel directly identifies what is our true identity, the other two readings elaborate on it. Jesus gives two simple and practical metaphors that denote our identity. They are namely salt and light. Jesus says, "You are the salt of the earth, and you are the light of the world." What is notable is that Jesus is not giving us merely some do's and don't do's. Note, he does not say, "You are like the salt," or "You are like the light." Rather, he says, "You are the salt and you are the light." Therefore, this is our identity. Our identity is to be the salt and to be the light. Saltiness is the essence of the salt, and lightness or radiance is the essence of light. In our context, it is the identity. Their qualities or functions are not just accessories or secondary factors. They are integral and essential, pertinent to their very identity. Devoid of these, salt and light lose their identity. Accordingly, in the light of the gospel, our being the salt implies that we must be persons who preserve our identity from deterioration and decay, who cleanse what is unclean and evil, and who add taste to that life that is tasteless and insipid. And our being light implies that we dispel the shades of darkness, radiate light, help to see things clearly, show the way, and help to walk the way. In the light of the first reading from Isaiah, our identity is to be people of God with benevolence and justice. This is to remove oppression, false accusation, and malicious speech. This is to share our bread with the hungry and satisfy the afflicted. It is to shelter the oppressed and the homeless and clothe the naked. In the light of the second reading from the first Corinthians, it is to be followers of Christ with humility and surrender. It is to be people of faith that rests not on the sublimity and persuasiveness of human wisdom, but on the demonstration of the Spirit and power of God. And now, the orientation for our life. Our greatest identity is to be witnesses to the Lord, so that seeing the light of our goodness, God may be glorified.